What's up guys? Today's video we're going to kind of explore a topic of what would Avatar characters have as their team in Pokemon if they were Pokemon trainers. If you guys like this video, I might make more of them for other characters in the Avatar universe, but in this video we're going to cover Aang. So a few things that I wanted to be sure to include in Aang's team of Pokemon. As the Avatar, obviously, the Avatar can bend all four elements, and I wanted Aang to have 4 Pokemon that reflected kind of the 4 elements in Avatar. And then from there, I just kind of went with Pokemon that fit Aang's character in some way or some kind of reference. So that was kind of my model when coming up with what Pokemon Aang would have. Starting off, kind of what I imagined as Aang's partner Pokemon. Similar to Ash with Pikachu, a small electric type Pokemon, but a little bit more fitting to Aang's character. I'm choosing Emolga. I chose Emolga because, for one, it's kind of a flying lemur looking thing, so it kind of is a reference to Momo in a way, but also it has the flying electric typing, so it gets that air representation, and then it's yellow, so it kind of fits in with Aang's like orange and yellow color palette. They like air nomad colors, so I imagine it like sitting on Aang's shoulder and stuff, and I just think it's a good fit. So from there, going to Torterra. So Torterra is obviously a grass and ground type Pokemon. So we get the ground type or earth representation, but also he's a big turtle, and his shell is kind of like almost resembling an island. So I think it is a cool reference to the lion turtles in the show, and Aang's obvious connection with the lion turtles. I think it works. We got flying to represent air, we got ground to represent earth, and water, I went with Piplup. It is that water type representation, so it gives Aang another element, but also it's a reference to penguin sledding. That classic Aang and Katara moment from the very beginning of the show. And I just think it's a Pokemon that Aang would have. The final element that we have to represent is fire. So for fire, I ended up picking Pyroar. So I like the way his colors look with Aang, but mainly it was the fact that he's a lion. And again, that lion turtle connection I think is cool. I think a perfect representation of an Avatar, you know, being able to master all the elements, the diversity. A Pokemon that makes me think of is Eevee. A Pokemon that, depending on how you raise it, can evolve into all kinds of different types. So I think Eevee's a really cool match kind of for Aang. Moving on from there, we've got 5 of the 6 Pokemon covered. We have Aang's Ace as the final Pokemon, and I wanted to give him something really strong, but also felt like him and represented him. So I went with Dragonite. So the reason I did Dragonite is, for one, it's another flying or air representation. Aang obviously being able to bend all elements, but air being his main one. I wanted him to have at least 2 flying type Pokemon. I think that makes sense. And then beyond that, I wanted to give him a dragon, because him and Zuko have that really cool moment in season 3 where they learn the truth of firebending from the dragons. And, you know, you could say, it's like, all right, well, why didn't you go with like a fire flying type like Charizard, which I considered, but I just think Dragonite is more suited to Aang. I think thematically it makes more sense. I like the color scheme Dragonite has. I think his personality just fits Aang better than Charizard. So that's the team I came up with for Aang if he was a Pokemon trainer. If you've got ideas of other Pokemon Aang might have, feel free to let me know. You know, I considered Bouffant, I think is the Pokemon's name, the like bison Pokemon, just for like an Appa representation. So maybe you could swap out like Eevee for Bouffant. But yeah, if you have another idea for a Pokemon that could be in Aang's party, comment that down below. With that, I'll see you guys next time.